Salute, 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 salute. Welcome, 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 welcome. Not sure if anybody's going to get these notifications or not because YouTube has been doing some really, really crazy stuff as of late. All right, they've been doing some really crazy stuff. Like YouTube has been doing a lot of shadow banning, a lot of blocking. They've been doing a lot of just a lot of wild stuff. I'm not sure what is going on with YouTube, to be honest. I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube. But let me just share this. Let me share this over here. Let me share this a few places because YouTube is not going to. They're not going to share this at all. What's up, Johnny Q? What's up, Mr. Shelton? Family here. All right, share that there. What's up, Andrew? And we'll share it here. Okay. There. Share it one more place, y'all, and then get to it. We'll get to this. Actually, I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. All right, y'all. Let's address this, y'all. Let's address this. I watched this CNN panel thing. I watched this CNN panel. I'm highly disappointed at how people, the beautiful Queen Mother Chiquila, what's up with you, beautiful Queen? What's up, Will? I'm highly disappointed, y'all, in how a lot of people don't have the willpower or testicular fortitude or just the courage to say what the truth is. Except there's a few people that have that, but not very many. So let's look at this and break this down, y'all.
It's a shutdown that could very well just not end because nobody seems to be that interested in ending it. But for Americans who are on SNAP, this weekend is going to be where they're going to have to face the reality that, honestly, $188 in this economy is not even a whole lot of money for food, but it's going to go away.
I mean, luckily we have the money to bail out Argentina to the tune of $40 billion.
Which we do. We do, y'all. We absolutely do. I'm for the life of me, I don't understand how people act like we didn't do this. Lone Star, salute to you. Bro, we bailed out Argentina. We gave them $20 million, and then we gave them another $20 million. Or $20 billion, I'm sorry. We gave them $20 billion and gave them another $20 billion. Bro, why is it such a problem with us taking care of us, but we can take care of other countries? How is it such a problem? Why is it always an issue when it comes to us taking care of us? Every time it comes down to us taking care of us, it's always, oh, we don't have the money. We don't have the money. Bro, this dude, Trump just gave them $40 billion. That's supposed to be approved by Congress. We didn't even approve this. Congress didn't even approve this. They didn't even approve it. He just gave them this. $20 billion and then another $20 billion on top of that. So he gave them a total of $40 billion, bro. He bailed out Argentina for $40 billion. without any approval from anybody, which is whatever. Let's speak about that later on. So I just don't understand how we can. What's up, Speak? What's up, Dark Player? I don't understand how we can bail out other countries, but we can't help ourselves. You guys do realize this $40 billion is our money. This is our taxpayer. This is our money. If you're paying taxes, you're paying $40 billion into taxes. This is out of our taxes right here. That's $40 billion that we just gave away.
And by bailing out Argentina, of course, the Trump administration is helping to bail out the hedge funds invested in Argentina. It's not a good look when the Republican Party won't concede on the one thing that's important here, which is add the subsidies to the Affordable Care Act so people's health care premiums don't double. And that's it. That's what the Democrats are asking for. But Republicans refuse to sign on to that.
Now, what she just said, what's up, Insane? What's up, Speak? What's up, Ray? I see you on. What she just said is a fact, y'all. Now, she left out the fact that the bill in that bill also in that, right? What's up, D1? They left out in that bill that they also want to limit the president from just giving billions of dollars to people without Congress approval. That's also in there. So yes, the major thing is healthcare. But the other thing is it limits it. Well, actually, it's three things. So one is healthcare. The other thing is it limits Trump from just being able to just give billions to anybody he wants. So that $40 billion that he just gave to Argentina, he wouldn't be able to do that without Congress, right? According to the bill that the Democrats are saying, this is what we want, right? So it's that. So it's the healthcare. It's the rolling back. Stopping the president from being able to just give people money and then rolling back the cuts to Medicare. Those are the three things. Like roll back the cuts. Like you cut billions out of Medicare in order to fund the one big beautiful bill. You need to fund it, and that's where you got the money from. You took the money from Medicare and you gave it. You took the money from Medicare and you gave it to the one big beautiful bill, whoever the millionaires, the billionaires, whatever, that's their tax cuts came from that. Like, I don't understand why people are not just calling it what it is. That's what it is. You had to fund the bill somehow, and that's how you funded it, by taking it from Medicare, which is wild to me because the government makes fucking damn near $1 trillion a year in fucking taxes, but whatever.
And if we're going to keep having this dysfunctional government situation or congressional situation year after year, they're still collecting my taxes. Why are they collecting my taxes?
Absolute facts. 100% facts. If the government is shut down, why are you still collecting taxes? Now, I know why, right? I know why, because it's considered an essential bill. Like when they're essential bills, doesn't matter what's going on in the government, doesn't matter what's going on in the world, they will not stop because they are considered essential, which is wild to me on why healthcare is not considered essential, while food is not considered essential. These things are super wild to me but collecting taxes is essential. That is essential. We must collect taxes. We got to make sure we're collecting taxes now. Got to make sure we're still getting money, even though we're giving the government money for the government to do a service, but the government is shut down, so it's not doing a service. So it's just building money because our taxes are still coming out, right? So if we are filling the coffers with money from our taxes, then what are you using the money for? What are you using it for? Because the money is still going to the coffers. It's still filling the coffers up. What's up, D? It's still filling it up, y'all. You're still getting it. If I didn't shout my nigga Insane, I'll salute to Insane. If you're still putting money into this pot, this piggy bank, right? The piggy bank is still filling up every week, every month, whenever taxes come out your paycheck, whenever you pay taxes to buy food, whenever you pay taxes for clothes, whenever you pay taxes for your where you live, right? Your property tax, all these taxes, that's still going to the government. It's still going to the government, bro. As the government is still, it's still that piggy bank is still getting full. What are you using the money for? That's the question. But of course, nobody's going to answer that. Let's keep going.
For what? And what's the important work that Mike Johnson is doing right now and the
That is a good question too.
Republicans are doing right now?
What are they doing? Because they're not in session at all. Mike Johnson controls that. What are they doing? They're not in session at all, bro. But I can tell you why they're not in session. And it's not just for the Arizona Democrat chick that's going to be the 218th vote to release the Epstein files. It's not just for that.
Does anyone know? I mean, there's some Republicans on the panel right now. Can you guys tell me the important Republicans work they're doing?
Now she asked the question, right? 2 questions. They're not going to answer at all. What they're going to do is called deflect, move the goalposts and deflect, which is wild to me.
All Republicans want is for Democrats to do what Democrats have demanded others do time and time again. What Democrats themselves have done, vote for clean CRs.
Well, let me explain to you guys what a clean CR is, because a lot of these people just talk and they just talk as if you're supposed to know what they're saying, whatever. What's up, Abel? A clean CR, a resolution, basically. All that is, hey, look, we're voting on this and this alone, right? That's all that means. We're going to vote on this. Whatever that this is, that's what they're voting on. Whatever that this is, we're voting on this and this alone. Now, I would be with them 100% if we were closer to, say, June, July. I will be with them 100%. What's up, OG Oak Park? I'll be with them 100%, y'all. 100%. A clean CR. Let's just vote for this piece alone. Let's get the government open, and then we'll worry about other things. The problem is we can't do a clean CR right now. We can't do a clean resolution. We cannot. Because if you do a clean resolution right now without including the ACA subsidiaries right now, they expire December 31st. They expire, y'all. They expire. If you do a clean CR now and vote on just one piece, whatever this one piece is, and you don't include the subsidiaries, they expire. Let me show you what this means. BVO, what's up with you, bro? Let me show you guys. I want you guys to see this. This is what it looks like if they expire. It looks like this, y'all. This is what it looks like. This is how this works. All right. I'm gonna be really high level, cut and dry, so people can understand. Really high level. What's up, Eric? Salute to my bro Eric O. This is how it works, y'all. Healthcare is partially paid by the government. Our taxes partially pay healthcare. Now, the idea of it it was how it was supposed to work, but people want to get their cut of the pie, so they won't let it work how it's supposed to work. How it was supposed to work is if everybody pays into it a specific amount, then it doesn't matter who's sick, doesn't matter who's healthy, doesn't matter whatever. Everybody gets the same healthcare because we're all paying into it a certain amount. If we all pay into it, the amount that we pay into it isn't that much. It's not that much. There's 340 something million people in America, right? Multiply that times 10. Multiply times 10. That's billions. Multiply times 20. Multiply times 100. Multiply that. That's man, 340 million people times 100 is what? 3 trillion? Something like that. 340, yeah, it's like $3 trillion. 340 million. If everybody paid $100 into healthcare, that's $3 trillion basically. because 1,000 million is a billion. So that's three. So 1,000 million is a billion. If it's 300 and we're doing 100, we're looking at $3 trillion basically, right? That's just is everybody paid $100. Ideally, that's how it's supposed to work. Now, how you tweak that is if you're a millionaire or a billionaire, you pay a little bit more so the people that are broke can pay a little bit less, and it still equals out to that still $100, right? Because it's not going to hurt the millionaires and billionaires to pay $1,000 into it, maybe, which then drops the people that are broke down to only have to pay a couple of dollars into it, right? It's not affecting the millionaires or billionaires. It's not affecting them at all, bro. But the ones at the very bottom, the broke ones, they only pay $1 or $2 or some shit like that, right? So it still equals out to that $100 for everybody. So then if someone gets sick, anybody gets sick, it doesn't matter. You can then go to the hospital and be good. That is ideal. That is the idea of it. That is what the Democrats want. The Republicans don't want that. The Republicans say, hey, if I'm sick, I'll go to the hospital and get checked out. I want a survival of the fit type of thing. That's the Republicans. The Democrats want everybody to have health care, universal health care. That's how they sort of operate it, how they pay for it type of deal. My brother Dave, what's up, Dave? And the Republicans just say survival of the fittest, basically. Survival of the fittest. If I'm healthy and I'm fit, if it's not affecting me, I don't care. There you go. There's your difference, y'all. The Democrats want everybody to have it. The Republicans say, listen, bro, I don't want to pay for nobody. This is, if it's affecting me, then fine. If it's not affecting me, so what? I don't care. Right? And I understand both of these. I understand both. But as a country, we should be, specifically if we're talking about America first. And I don't got a problem with America first mentality, bro. I don't got a problem with that at all. I feel like in order for us to be able to help the world, we should be able to help ourselves first. That's what I feel like. So I'm totally fine with America first. We shouldn't have homeless. We shouldn't have military vets homeless. All the vets should be getting paid. Like, we shouldn't have none of that type of stuff. There should be programs. We have enough money. If we're giving out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars every single year, then we should have enough to take care of ourselves before we take care of everybody else. I believe that. I totally believe that, 100%. But there should be some give and take here. Healthcare shouldn't be one of those things. But this is what they're asking for. This is what the Democrats are asking for, y'all. The Democrats are saying, hey, extend the damn subsidiaries. Extend the payments so that when people go to the hospital or whatever, they're not paying boatloads of bread. Hundreds of, bro, they're paying, some of these guys are paying 3 and 4 and 5 times as much as they've ever paid before. They're going to be paying for healthcare. And you see who it's affecting, bro. You guys see what's affecting. It's right. This is right here on here. What the Democrats are trying to do, which is why I said if it was around June, I wouldn't have no problem with a clean CR if it was around June. But it's not in June. Bro, we're in November. All this expires December 31st. That's why a clean CR won't work, y'all. A clean CR won't work. A clean resolution, a clean vote won't work. It will not work, bro. Because if we do a clean vote, then guess what happens? Now the Republicans say, well, we're on holiday vacation. The government's open, and now we're going on holiday vacation. Well, guess when they come back from holiday vacation? Like the 6th of January. The 7th. This expires January 1st, y'all. December 31st, it expires. January 1st, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And this is what people don't get. There is going to be hundreds, bro, there's going to be thousands and thousands of people that can't get healthcare. Now, of course, they say there's 32 or something like that million people that are going to lose their healthcare and stuff like that. Those are facts, right? But if they're not injured, if they're not sick, if there's nothing wrong with them at this particular time, it won't hit them. right? It won't hit them until until them or they or someone in their family or one of their friends then has to go to the hospital. It's the same thing as these farmers right now that, I'm going to vote for this guy because he wants to get rid of the immigrants. And then you vote for that guy and that guy bails out your competitor. Argentina should have failed. That would have boosted the farmers, the cattle farmers and the soybean farmers. It would have boosted them in America because China would have had to come to America or some other country. Right now, you bailed out Argentina. Bro, they're selling beef and soybeans to China. So Argentina is our biggest competitor. You bailed out our biggest competitor while the farmers are failing. But once again, they will not care unless it affects them. That's why they're all looking at this like, oh man, just open the government, man. Nobody cares about Obamacare this and Obamacare. They don't understand the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare are the exact same thing, and they still don't get it. They still don't get it. Literally, people right now talking about, man, you can get rid of that damn Obamacare, just don't touch my Affordable Care Act. Like, bro, it's the same thing. It's literally the same exact thing. So when this guy is talking about a clean CR, you cannot do a clean CR, bro. You cannot do a clean CR. If you do a clean CR, they will let this fail. They have been trying to get rid of Obamacare since he put it in place. They have nothing to replace it with, y'all. Don't worry, I'll show y'all. All they've been trying to do is get rid of it. That's it. What this does is it allows people to go to the hospital and not have to pay outrageous hospital fees. The government that we pay taxes for, we pay our taxes. They are supposed to be helping us with our tax money that we pay. This is one of the ways they help us. The subsidiaries. This is it, y'all. It is ridiculous that they don't want to just extend them. This is ridiculous to me. This is helping Americans with our tax money. Whatever. Let's keep going, y'all. This is what she is saying right here. Let me rewind it back a little bit. Because she keeps telling him, do you think premium should double? Do you think they should double? Because that is what's going to happen. If we do a clean CR, which we could, which again, all a clean CR is just a resolution. It's just a resolution that says open the government on these terms. That's all a CR is, y'all. They say these terminologies acting like everybody knows on purpose because people don't know. So a CR is just a resolution to open the government based on this term or that term, whatever the Republicans' terms are. That's what they're saying. A clean CR is the Republicans' terms. The Republicans want a clean CR because a clean resolution for them, a clean resolution means we open the government. It's a victory for us. We open the government and then we go on Christmas break until January 6th or 7th. When this stuff is already expired. It lapses, you guys. It is over with December 31st. It's over. It's done. If you can pay for healthcare, great. If you can't, then I guess you're going to die. Or what I would recommend if this goes through, if this doesn't go through, like if they hold out and it fails and look what it's looking like it's going to do, it's going to fail by December 31st. Just go to the emergency room and just keep going to the emergency room for everything. They can't stop you. Just don't pay nothing. Just go to the emergency room and get yourself taken care of. And when they send you a bill, just don't pay it. Anyways, let's keep going.
Right now. Does anyone know? I mean, there's some Republicans on the panel right now. Can you guys tell me the important work they're doing?
All Republicans want is for Democrats to do what Democrats have demanded others do time and time again. Mm-hmm. What Democrats themselves have done: vote for clean CRs.
Do you think that premium should double?
Do you think premium
should double?
Premium that your party chose to have subsidies end.
Now that right there, what he just said, I agree. Bro, I agree with him when he said the Democratic Party voted to have subsidies end. What he's not saying is the Republican Party would not vote to make them last forever. That's what he's not saying. So the Democratic Party had no choice in order to get them, had no choice to have them have an expiration date. They had no choice. Well, let me not say they had no choice. Let me not say that, because they did have a choice. They could have put their foot down, but then that's what the Republicans wanted, because then the Affordable Care Act would have never been instilled at all. It would have never got the necessary votes if they didn't have an end date for the subsidiaries, right? Ending all the subsidiaries are, y'all. Let me just remove these terminologies. It's just a government copay. That's all it is, bro. It's a government copay. That's all it is. The government pays a portion of your health cares. That's what the subsidiaries are. They're a portion paid. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a portion paid. The Democrats put that in there in order for, I want to say, I don't remember how many Republicans. It wasn't that many. It wasn't that many Republicans, like maybe one or two. They needed like one or two to get it passed or something like that. And then John McCain to keep it, because they tried to repeal it, and John McCain gave the thumbs down to make it so he voted against their repeal. They needed one more to repeal it, and John McCain refused. That's why it was never repealed. But anyways, I'll get to that here in a little bit. So the subsidiaries are just a copay so that you don't have to pay so much. And once again, we are already paying every time we get paid, every time we buy something, anything on our mortgage, anything. We are paying taxes. That money is going to them, y'all. That's going to the government. They should help us. If they're not going to help us, then why are we paying taxes? Literally, why are we paying taxes? If we're going to, I'll get to that. I'll get to that later. Let's keep going. But what he is correct when he said your party voted, the Democrats voted to have them have an expiration date, of which they did, because if they didn't vote to have an expiration date, then they would have never got this in the first place. Listen, this was not supposed to be that, bro. This was not supposed to be that at all. It was not supposed to be this. The Affordable Care Act in its original form was supposed to be universal health care. That's what it was supposed to be. It was something else. It was changed to the Affordable Care Act. Affordable being the terminology. It wasn't supposed to cost nothing. That was the original plan. The original plan was no cost. You go to the hospital and you go to the hospital for free. The government pays the damn doctors. The doctors get their money, their paychecks from the government. We pay the government pays the doctors. So they're always paid. Whenever we get sick, we just go to the hospital and get checked out like they do in damn near every other civilized country on planet Earth. That was the original, y'all. Universal health care, that was the original. It was changed. The things were changed. It was updated to affordable. Affordable. Why was it changed to affordable, you ask? Because a lot of the politicians make millions of dollars from big pharma. They make millions of dollars from the insurance agencies. Millions and millions. So they want to keep that money flowing in. So they want it to be affordable. So they keep getting their bread, which is why it was switched to the Affordable Care Act. Whatever. We'll move on. Let's move on.
On November 1st.
The Democratic Party's own
Should
doing.
the premiums
and
double?
now they're looking and they're trying to point the finger at the Republican Party.
It's a simple question. Should the premiums double?
Should they open up the government?
Do you notice how he did not answer the question? He did not answer the question at all. She's been asking the exact same question. Should the premiums double? There should be no premium whatsoever. None. Insurance is the biggest scam it's the biggest scam in America. It's one of the biggest. There is no reason and no way that we should have insurance for nothing, because it's not even working the way it's supposed to work. And how insurance is supposed to work is every single month that we pay insurance, we pay it, we should pay it for X amount of time. And then when we pay it for X amount of time, if we have no issues, we should get rebate checks. Maybe not the full amount we paid, but at least half. At least half. If we pay $100 a month, then 6 months from now, we got no injuries, we should get a $300 check back to us. We should get a $300 check back. That's how insurance companies should work. So you got the $300 that they keep for their service fees and stuff like that. And then if somebody does get hurt or someone does get injured or someone does need it, well, there's that $300 that covers it, right? But you get a rebate check every 6 months because, yeah, you're paying for the service costs, right? But if you're giving $100 every month, then every 6 months, you're going to get back a check for $300 every 6 months. If your insurance is not working like that, and no insurance works that way, because why would I give you back $300 if you're giving me $100 a month and you have to give me money? Why would I give you money back? Makes no sense. The rich get richer by keeping it. Anyways, that's a whole different conversation. He didn't answer the question, y'all, on should premiums double. Why didn't he answer the question? Because he's got money. If you got money, you're not worried about premiums double because you can get the proper nutrition and the proper things that take care of you so you never have to worry about getting sick. They legitimately want a survival of the fittest America. I'm fine with that. That's what you want to do. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. If that's the case, let's go back to motherfucking, let's do a civil war then. Let's do civil war. I mean, because during the survival of the fittest, that sound like the 1700s to me. Whatever, let's keep going.
The answer is yes.
The government
if you
will
open up the government,
if they
we can get
give
into
the
those
Democrats the
negotiations.
one thing they're asking for, which is a just issue.
And it is a just issue, y'all. It is a just issue. We are paying into the government. What is the government using our money for? It's our money. They just gave Argentina $40 billion. $40 billion. They give it, bro. Do you guys realize that the checks to Israel didn't stop? The checks to Israel are in those special circumstances, you know, where the taxes are, we keep getting taxes because there's like a special circumstances that things continue to work. In the special circumstances where we keep getting taxed, because she asks, why do we keep getting taxed if the government is shut down? In those special circumstances where we keep getting taxed, paying Israel is in those special circumstances. That money does not stop, y'all, at all. It does not stop. It's one of the special circumstances. That's a fact. They will continue to get paid even when the government is shut down. Anyways, let's keep going.
Talk about premiums, and we just talked about SNAP benefits. Who cares about healthcare when
he moved the goalposts to SNAP benefits, y'all. What good is SNAP benefits if the niggas is dying? You've got two sides of a spectrum here. Feeding a motherfucker so they don't die and keeping a motherfucker alive so they can eat. Here's both your sides of the spectrum. Healthcare, SNAP. Feeding a motherfucker, feeding them so they can live, and giving them health care so they don't die. This guy, she is talking about giving them health care so they don't die. This guy moved the goalposts to giving them SNAP so they can eat. It's both sides of the spectrum, but I want you guys to listen to this because I know better. But listen.
You cannot put food on the table. You have millions
SNAP
of
benefits
Americans.
are important too.
You have a lot of Americans that are going to be without food stamps.
So you want the
because of
Democrats to
Democratic
sign
Party.
on to funding the government
this is why-
in a situation
want
when
them
the
to do
premiums
what
will
they-
double
we
for
want them to do
Americans
what
who
they've
already have a
committed to
difficult
do
time paying
time
for
and
their
time
health
again.
insurance.
So what they just said is you want, basically what they're saying is they're using SNAP as a talking point to say that the Democrats are keeping the government closed, right? And they're trying to push this narrative that the Democrats that are keeping the government closed, SNAP was nothing, y'all. It was a part of absolutely nothing. These guys, The Republicans added SNAP on to combat health insurance. That's why that's why they're talking about SNAP and SNAP this and SNAP this and SNAP this. They don't even like SNAP. It's a government handout. It is a government handout. Hold up a second. Let me help you guys out. Let me help you guys. They cut $186 billion from SNAP in August. They cut $186 billion. This is another thing they cut from SNAP to pay for the one big beautiful bill. So they're now all of a sudden all sanctimonious talking about how, oh man, this is going to take money from people's mouths, man. People are going to die. We're playing with people's lives. You took $186 billion from them. You took this, bro. You took $186 billion from SNAP. And yes, the people who are on SNAP the most are white people in red states. You took $186 billion from SNAP because you have took SNAP and welfare and all these handouts and you've put a black face on it. You put a black face on SNAP, welfare, and all these things. You put a black face on it. But the biggest beneficiaries of SNAP, welfare, and all these other government handouts are white people in red states. Those are the biggest beneficiaries. Those guys are the ones who reap those benefits the most. And you cut $186 billion from it. $186 billion to pay for the one big beautiful bill. Can someone please tell me who benefits from the one big beautiful bill? You guys don't even know. You have no idea. You literally have no clue who benefits from that. People will say the millionaires and the billionaires. That's what they'll say. Do some research. Doesn't benefit absolute nobody but the elites. The richer you are, the more benefits you get. Whole different conversation.
Years ago.
What is the difference of the bill? What is the difference for the bill that you voted for? What is the difference?
There's a big difference.
This is the new Democratic Party.
Hold on one second.
So they're saying this is the new Democratic Party, y'all. This is the new Democratic Party, what they're saying. The Republicans are saying, here's the new Democratic Party, y'all. The new Democratic Party. What's up, Bug? The new Democratic Party, Jank, salute. The new Democratic Party that is saying we want to ensure that the health care that we voted for, that Americans love overwhelmingly, the Affordable Care Act is overwhelmingly loved. But they hate Obamacare. The exact same people who overwhelmingly, I'm talking the high 80s, 90s, overwhelmingly support the the Affordable Care Act, the ACA. They love the ACA, yet hate Obamacare. You don't know what the hell you hate the name. You are racist that hate the name. Because they say Obamacare, now you hate it, but you want the Affordable Care Act. Because the Affordable Care Act does not have Obama's name on it. Diabolical.
I have to say, it's
Go ahead.
amazing to get lectures on how much you care about SNAP benefits.
Because I have family members on SNAP,
Well,
yes.
then why did you support the president when he asked for and got $186 billion of cuts to SNAP?
They were
If you
cleaning
cared-
up the program
they
from
were
waste,
not-
fraud, and abuse.
Oh my
You
God,
and I both know
is
that.
all
Waste, fraud, and abuse, he says. So this was cleaning up the program, y'all, for waste, fraud, and abuse. That is what this is. waste, fraud, and abuse. Cleaning up the program for waste, fraud, and abuse. Do you guys, I'm going to tell you guys a story right quick. So I want you guys to understand this. In September 11th, when they said the planes hit the towers, one plane did, I don't know about two, and a plane damn sure didn't hit the Pentagon, but whatever, a whole different conversation. So in September 11th, do you know what they were doing was an audit of the Pentagon? Do you know there was over $1 trillion that they could not find? Do you guys know that? They were doing an audit of the Pentagon, and it was over $1 trillion they couldn't find. Do you guys know what part of the Pentagon was hit? The part that was doing the audit. Do you guys realize that all of the paperwork and all the people that were doing the audit perished? Just the irony. The irony. And they never passed an audit since and before. Never. Do you guys realize this? Those are facts, yo. Those are absolute facts. Just in case y'all are curious. Those are facts. Facts. Those are facts, y'all. Over $1 trillion was missing. Over $1 trillion. They had no idea where over $1 trillion was. $1 trillion. And the rocket, the missile that hit the Pentagon, just so precisely hit where the audit, the people that were doing the audit and the paperwork, and all the people that were doing the audit and all the paperwork perished. How ironic. How ironic. Just that one little part of the building. How ironic. Don't worry, I'll speak about that at a later date. So when they're talking about waste, fraud, and abuse, let me help you guys with something. Because they're talking about waste, fraud, and abuse. Let me help you with something. The Pentagon has never passed an audit. The very first one they were going to do, the very first one that they were going to have to pass, the very first one was stopped on September 11th. The very first one. The very first one. And there was a missing over $1 trillion that they could not find. Over $1 trillion they could not find. That the independent auditors were doing an audit independent. Over $1 trillion they could not find. That was at that part, y'all. They weren't even finished. I don't even think they was halfway done. Yeah, I don't even think they were halfway done yet, y'all. They weren't even halfway done. There was supposed to be a congressional hearing that was upcoming for this, right? They weren't even halfway done the audit, and it was already over $1 trillion that was missing. They couldn't find it. And the irony is that just that portion of the Pentagon, with just those people and all their paperwork, perished. Anyways, let's keep going.
ridiculous.
because you cannot
People
have
are
a
gonna
program.
Go hungry
No.
From those
Straw
SNAP
man's
cuts.
argument.
No,
You
it's
cannot
not.
have-
Those people. I'm sorry.
Can-
You just
finish.
paid for 186. You took 186 billion dollars out of the SNAP program. 186 billion dollars that will go
Waste,
to
fraud, and
people.
abuse.
It's not waste, fraud, and
It
abuse.
is.
It will.
If it's waste, fraud, and abuse, then why can't you use the $186 billion to fund SNAP right now? If it is waste, fraud, and abuse, why can't you use that money? Because you got it now, because you took it, right? You took that bread, so you got $186 billion. SNAP benefits for everybody is going to cost roughly 10 billion. You took 186 billion. 186 billion is what you guys took from all the benefits, everything. Okay, so you got the money to pay for SNAP. If it was waste, fraud, and abuse, it's no longer waste, fraud, and abuse because you took it from SNAP. You still got it now somewhere in some coffer to now use it to pay for SNAP right now. Don't worry, I'll get into that a little bit more.
You like to say that, but it's actually false.
Look at
And you
what we
took
actually
the
did.
money and you.
They say, look at what they actually did with it. Look at what they actually did with it, y'all. All right. Hold up. This is what it did. This is what it did. It paid for the one big, beautiful bill. This is what it did, y'all. So we pay our taxes to the federal government. Part of the taxes, 186 billion of it went to SNAP. They cut that from SNAP to pay for the one big beautiful bill, and then kicked the benefits that we're supposed to get that we pay for the federal government. They kicked that to the states. They kicked that down to the states, bro. So now the states have to pay for their version of SNAP, and every state's version of SNAP is different. And they cut out SNAP Ed. They cut out a whole bunch of things. But they kicked, so we still pay the federal government. The federal government then, with the money that we pay the federal government, what's up, EA? The money that we pay the federal government, they cut out a piece of that money and give it to the states, right? And then the states take that piece of money and pay SNAP or whatever their version of SNAP is, if they have it or not. They might not even have it because they might say, we don't have enough money. We don't have enough money to do it. We don't have enough bread. Because what's supposed to happen is all the states pay to the federal government, right, according to their populations and stuff like that, right? So all the states pay to the federal government, and then the federal government is supposed to cut a check to the states equally. That is what's supposed to happen. Equally. They're all supposed to get an equal paycheck. Like all the states are supposed to get funded equally. That is not how it works, though. That's what it's supposed to work. All the states pay $10. All 50 states, they don't pay $10. All 50 states pay according to their population. So if some states are more populated, they pay more money. Like most blue states are donor states, just so you guys realize that. Donor means I pay more than I receive. I'm going to if I am, it's all, well, I'll use an analogy. It's like when I told you about the healthcare, when I said everybody's supposed to pay $100, right? And then you paid $100 and everybody's bills are now low because everybody's paying $100. So now if my bill costs $100, it's basically free. if your bill costs $2,000, it's like a couple of hundred versus the 2,000. That was the idea of the Affordable Care Act. That is the idea. That's the idea of the Affordable Care Act. And to offset that for the people at the bottom that don't have shit and the people at the top that have a lot, right? So instead of everybody paying $100, the people at the bottom pay $5, $10, $1, and the people at the top pay $500 or $1,000, but they can afford it. So it's not hurting them at all. They can afford to pay $1,000. So it offsets everybody paying $100 because they can afford to pay $1,000. It's not going to hurt them not one bit to pay $1,000, not one bit at all. Right? So if you're paying this $1,000, if you're filthy rich and you're paying $1,000, it's not going to bother you. Right? You might not like to pay $1,000, but it's not going to affect you. But this person at the bottom that's paying $100, that's got to break that $100 up into food and bills and kids and medical expenses. It's way more difficult for them at the bottom to break that, which is why then you make them pay $5, $10, $1, because they're doing all the labor work that these filthy rich people own. They own the businesses. These people are doing the labor work, so they're not getting paid as much as these people. This is common sense shit, y'all. Now, if you look at the states, right? If you look at the states, how the states operate, they operate the same way, the same exact way. All states should be paying the same amount. All the states should be paying the same amount. So we all pay in $1,000. We pay $50,000 in, and it sits right there until it's needed. Now, of that $50,000, right, we're not giving you back $1,000. You all give us $1,000. We give you guys back $500 each. We keep half of that money, right? So we keep $25,000 to run the government, to pay for the military, right? To pay for it's supposed to be to fund certain things like education and stuff like that. It's supposed to be those type of things. If it's a countrywide criteria, that's what that money's supposed to be for, right? It doesn't work that way. What happens is you pay in, all 50 states paying $1,000, and that's how it's supposed to be, right? But it doesn't do that. What happens is, depending on how much your population is, you pay in more. Depending on how good your economy is in your state, you pay in more. If your economy is bad, you pay in less. It's the exact same thing. Same exact thing as healthcare, but of course, these people won't tell you that because they want to keep you deaf, dumb, and blind so you can keep paying money. They don't want to tell you that, bro. You Republicans are so mad about universal healthcare and the Affordable Care Act. Obamacare and all these things. You guys are so mad, but you don't realize you're doing that now. You guys are, America is, we don't like socialism. We don't want socialism. America is socialism. It is socialism. You pay to the government for the government to give you a handout. Handout is what Republicans don't like. They don't like handouts. Republican states, damn near all of them are welfare states. Blue states, almost all of them are donor states. They give more than they receive. Republican states are welfare states. They receive more than they give to the federal government. Those are facts, bro. Hold it for conversation. But let's get back to this because people just be talking, but they don't know what they're talking about. They lucky they don't have me on here, bro. They lucky you don't have a motherfucker like me. Put me on this panel. Man, I'd have those dudes wanting to fight me. Anyways, let's get back to this.
This is the overall problem. What you're mad about is the passage of one big beautiful bill.
So he says you're mad about the passage of the one big beautiful bill. I would have told him the one big beautiful bill is paid for by the $186 billion in SNAP you cut. That is what's funding the one big beautiful bill. That's funding it. Yes, I'm mad about the one big beautiful bill because it cut $186 billion from SNAP. That's how they're paying for it. Don't you guys always hear every time a Democrat says, hey, let's do this or let's do that? A Republican will say, sounds good. How are you going to pay for it? Have you guys ever wondered why the Republicans never say how they're going to pay for something? They just do it. Think about that. You don't ever hear Republicans say how they're going to pay for something. You never hear them do it. And if somebody does tell you, they're just going to blatantly lie. Just going to be like, oh, listen, you really don't have the money. So are you guys going to cut Medicare for this? And they'll be like, no, of course not. Why would I do that? And then as soon as they get into office, that's exactly what they do. Whatever. Let's keep going, y'all.
To realize that elections have consequences and your side lost.
Yes, elections have consequences and the Democrats lost. But also the consequence is that the Democrats are not forced to do a damn thing. You're in charge. The Republicans are in charge. So if elections have consequences, why are you begging the Democrats to open up the government? Let me help you guys out right quick, because I want you guys to understand what Donald Trump said when he was not in office.
Getting fired. Who's going to bear the brunt of the responsibility if indeed there is a shutdown of our government?
Well, if you say who gets fired, it always has to be the top. I mean, problems start from the top, and they have to get solved from the top, and the president's the leader, and he's got to get everybody in a room, and he's got to lead, and he doesn't do that. He doesn't like doing that. That's not his strength, and that's why you have this horrible situation going on in Washington. It's a very, very bad thing, and it's very embarrassing worldwide.
So the president is in charge. The president has to get everybody in the room and make a deal. That's what he said in 2013. That's what he said, y'all. Those are his words. But of course, doesn't matter now. Oh, that was different. You're worried about the past. Let's talk about right now. So what he said then meant nothing. But what he says now is something. All right, cool. Let's keep going, y'all, because y'all going to see it again.
Just on the waste, fraud, and abuse point, over the last 15 years, SNAP fraud has fallen from 4% to 1%. So there's already very little fraud in the SNAP program.
So SNAP fraud, mind you now, 100% is the total. 100%. SNAP fraud at its highest was, I want to say, around 6%. Do you guys know what SNAP fraud is? Getting food stamps and selling them. That's SNAP fraud. It was never more. It was never even close. It was never 10% of 100%. Roughly 95% of the people who got benefits used them. They used them for what they were prescribed for. Roughly 95% of them. About 5%, 6% got food stamps and sold them. Do you guys know when that was? That highest was? During the crack fucking pandemic. During the crack pandemic is when that was at its highest. During the crack pandemic. From last year, where it was 4%, to this year, it's 1%. I'm sitting here like, bro, you like are you guys just playing dumb, or are you? Let's keep going.
According to the government.
$180 billion is a lot more.
Dude, the Pentagon hasn't
but
passed
look,
a single
regardless
audit.
of that.
Notice what Anna just said. Listen to her again. The Pentagon has not passed a single audit. They have never passed an audit. Never. Listen to her again.
a lot more.
Dude, the Pentagon hasn't
but
passed
look,
a single
regardless
audit.
of
That is a fact. That is an absolute fact. So if you want to resolve waste, fraud, and abuse, how about you try to find the $1 trillion, that the Pentagon still has no idea from 2001? We are in 2025. That was 24 years ago, where they hadn't passed an audit and $1 trillion was missing. $1 trillion. And they hadn't passed an audit. How about you focus there? You can fund the entire government, bro. If you hadn't found over $1 trillion in 2001, just imagine how much money is now missing. Half the damn deficit is probably with that.
Regardless of that, I mean, people who are on the program right now are going to not have benefits. I think it's interesting because the Trump administration says, you know, there's $6 billion in the emergency fund. $8 billion is needed to cover the month of November. They're saying that they can't use that money because that money needs to be set aside for, you know, hurricanes and other.
This is a lie. This is a lie. This is an absolute lie, y'all. An absolute lie. By the law. Hold up. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all. I'll show y'all. Let me show y'all the law. For the necessary expenses to carry out the Food and Nutrition Act of 2008, $122,382,521,000, of which $3 billion to remain available through September 30th, 2026, shall be placed in reserve for use only in such amounts and at the such times as may become necessary to carry out program operations. What this means is, this is the law. $122 billion is the SNAP program. This was the SNAP program back then. Remind you now, they took out $186 billion this year. This year. This is the SNAP program in 2024, y'all. In 2024. This is the SNAP program. More money was put into SNAP. A lot more was put into SNAP under Biden. A lot more. Which is why they were able to take out $186 billion from SNAP. This is why they were able to take out more, because Biden put a whole bunch more bread into SNAP. He put a whole bunch more bread into helping out people who need it. It was Trump who took $186 billion away from what Biden added to. So also, this $3 billion was doubled to $6 billion. This is the reserve, y'all. The reserve. Right? When Donald Trump when Joe Biden put hella more bread into SNAP, that doubled the reserve from $3 billion to $6 billion. The reserve is specifically for this. This is the law, y'all. Matter of fact, let me show you another one. I'll do you one better, because I got one more better than this. But let me show you. This year, September 30th, this year, what I highlighted right there shows you these multi-year contingency funds. Now, that contingency fund is now, the contingency fund was $3 billion. $3 billion was the contingency fund. $3 billion. It is now $6 billion, y'all. $6 billion contingency fund. $6 billion. All right. It says these multi-year contingency funds are also available to fund participant benefits in the event that a lapse occurs in the middle of the fiscal year. A lapse is a government shutdown. That is what a lapse is. This was September 30th. And September 30th, this was funded. This was upheld. This is law. September 30th, y'all. If you do no research, you will know nothing. This is law. They legitimately have $6 billion that they can use. That Biden doubled last year. He doubled it. So there's $6 billion that can be used. They are not using this. They're saying they can't use it. But I got one for you in a little bit. I just want you all to see that this is legitimately how the law is written, how the rules and law was written, is that this is what it's for, y'all. How the rules and law was written, it is specifically for this. So when they're saying these things, they're full of shit.
But they've been willing to.
This right here is what it is. This is facts. $6 billion for emergency funds, contingency funds. It is there. 100% there. And if you can find $40 billion to pay Argentina, how can you not find $8 billion for SNAP? Where did you find the $40 billion from? Where did you find this, bro? Where did you find the $40 billion from, y'all? My bro Samson says, where is the SNAP money going? Well, let me show you. Let me show you where the SNAP money is going. So you guys can understand. The SNAP money was used to pay for the one big, beautiful bill. The $186 billion that was cut from SNAP was used to fund this bill. This is where it went. It funded this bill. That is where the SNAP money went. The SNAP money funded the one big, beautiful bill. This is where that $186 billion went. This is where it went to. This is where it went. Okay, let's get back to it.
Around for all
Yes,
kinds
for our
of
troops,
other
Abby. For aviation safety.
all kinds of other.
Abby,
They've been willing to move money around
Democrats
for all
can't
kinds of
pass the
other
buck.
reasons.
No.
The question is why not this one? Tara, let me let Tara have a moment.
We have
So Democrats can't pass the buck. I'm going to speak on this here in a second. How the hell are the Democrats passing a buck? They're not in charge of anything. The one bit of power they had is because you guys, whatever, I'll speak about this in a second.
To all acknowledge that these are political games that are being played by both sides.
Of course.
It is not political games. What the Democrats are asking for, three things, I will say it again, three things. One of them is their fault, right? Extending the subsidiaries so that the Affordable Care Act does not expire on December 31st and everybody's health care is skyrocketed through the ceiling, right? That's number one. Number two is they want to rein in Donald Trump and force him to use Congress to approve sending money to countries. All right, to force him so that he cannot give $40 billion to just anybody. He can't do it, but he is doing it right now. That is two in the bill. And the other bill is to roll back, make these guys find some money somewhere else to pay for the one big, beautiful bill and to roll back the cuts from Medicare. Those are the three things that the Democrats want. Roll back the cuts from Medicare, put Medicare back where it is, go find money from somewhere else. I'll speak about that in a second. Go find money from somewhere else. So roll back the cuts, right? Make it, it's already mandatory. It's already mandatory, but put it back in stone. Put it back in stone that this man can't just give billions to anybody in the world that he wants to which is what he's doing now, right? And then extend the subsidiaries. Those are the three things the Democrats are asking for. Those are the three. Those are the three things. Those are the major three things. There's another thing in there. They want extra funding for politicians and judges, right? They want more money to protect politicians and judges. They want like 300 million over the next, I don't know how many years, to protect politicians and judges. The Democrats only want 88 million to protect politicians and judges. So that's a low-hanging fruit that can be scrapped, but those are the things right there. Anyways, let's keep going. So it's not political games. It's not political games.
It's politics.
A clean CR is not a game.
Tomorrow.
A clean CR, I will say this again, a clean CR will, what all that will do, it will open the government and the Republicans will go on holiday leave. And the healthcare subsidiaries, the healthcare copay basically, will be scrapped on December 31st. And when the House reconvenes, January 7th or 15th or whatever the hell they decide to come back from another vacation, when the House reconvenes, the Democrats will be begging for some type of health care, and the Republicans will not do it. They have been trying to get rid of Obamacare forever. Forever, y'all. And that is the fight right now, to keep the Affordable Care Act.
But they are using an old Republican tactic of closing the government to have leverage right now.
Who closed the government?
It is a Republican tactic. Closing the government to get what you want is absolutely a Republican tactic. Yes, it is.
The Democrats who closed it.
But
The Democrats did not close the government. The Democrats did not want the government closed. All the Democrats, they didn't even ask for anything new. If you guys notice, they have now moved the goalposts, y'all, from claiming that the Democrats wanted health care for illegal immigrants. That's what they were saying a couple of weeks ago. Now they're saying they want SNAP benefits. The Democrats are stopping Americans from getting SNAP benefits. Yeah, that talking point about the Democrats want health care for illegal immigrants, that just vanished. Yeah, that just vanished. That's nowhere to be seen now. Now it's about SNAP benefits.
they are doing it for leverage. And
Who? The Democrats
Republicans realize that the Democrats.
The only leverage that the Democrats are trying to get is to extend the subsidiaries for health care for Americans that we have already been paying for since like 2016. We've already been paying for them since 2016. They're just trying to extend it.
Are not
You have the
holding,
number
so
two
now
in the
they are
House.
withholding SNAP
You have the
benefits,
number
which
2
they could
House
also
Democrats
do-
saying that this is a leveraged way.
It is leverage, you fucking idiot. You and your fucked up haircut with your weird fucking box. It is leverage. Legitimately leverage. It is leverage so that the American people don't have their fucking health care quadrupled. It is not leverage for them to get anything. Literally what they're asking for in the bill they wrote, literally, is to extend the fucking subsidiaries, to roll back the cuts to Medicaid, and to stop Donald Trump from giving countries billions of dollars without our approval. The power of the purse belongs to Congress. This man is just cutting checks. That's what's in their fucking bill, y'all. Those are the three major things in their bill. That's it. That's what's in their bill. What the fuck are they talking about, bro? Did anybody even read this shit?
In 2018, they had the same
It's
risk.
2025.
No, in 2018, they had the same risk of losing food stamps, SNAP benefits, and they went into another reserve to cover it during Trump's longest shutdown. Okay.
And that is a fact. And to prove to you that's a fact, I'll show you. This is what Donald Trump did. The limited funding within the SNAP contingency reserve is available for these cases. When the government was shut down under Donald Trump in 2018, he went into the government contingency reserve and used the bread that was in there. That's how he funded SNAP, y'all. That's how he did it. He went into the fucking that reserve. He went into that reserve. He went into this shit. He went into that and used that money, which is literally written for them to use. He used that money and paid SNAP in 2019. That is what he did. So you cannot tell me you can't do the exact same thing. No, it is a talking point. It's a Republican talking point to say that the Democrats won't open up the government to give us SNAP. They don't need to. The Democrats were beefing with Trump in 2018. He still did SNAP. No, it's a talking point for Republicans, and you guys got no facts to stand on this. None. Absolutely none. Because here is the proof in front of your face that Donald Trump went into that reserve. This reserve. He went into that reserve and paid for SNAP. That is a fact. But of course, y'all really don't care about none of that. But you had no problem when he took $186 billion from the exact same SNAP. But now all of a sudden, SNAP is a problem. Fraud, waste, and abuse, man. It's fraud, waste, and abuse, BF. Or well, I'll call myself DJ over here. It's fraud, waste, and abuse, DJ, man. It's fraud, waste, and abuse, yeah? If it's fraud, waste, and abuse, well, how come nobody's going to audit the Pentagon? Is anybody going to audit the Pentagon? I'm pretty sure you will be able to resolve a lot of things. You won't have to cut education and SNAP. You can find those trillions of dollars that are just missing. They're just missing. Okay, let's keep going, y'all.
The Trump administration.
And so the point is that both are withholding funds.
You all
and
are
aid
ignoring.
and ability.
You all are
If they don't
ignoring.
just sit down and actually talk
So let's just address what she said.
So both are annoying. Both are avoiding this is what he says. What she says. She says both sides are playing politics. Well, once again, let's play what Donald Trump said in 2013 when there was a government shutdown under Barack Obama.
Getting fired. Who's going to bear the brunt of the responsibility if indeed there is a shutdown of our government?
Well, if you say who gets fired, it always has to be the top. I mean, problems start from the top, and they have to get solved from the top, and the president's the leader, and he's got to get everybody in a room, and he's got to lead, and he doesn't do that. He doesn't like doing it.
So the president has to get everybody in a room, and he's got to lead. That's what this man says. He's got to get everybody in a room. He's got to lead. Don't worry, I'm going to come back to this. Let's keep going.
She's arguing, and I think there's good reason to believe that obviously there are political games being played here. Democrats are keeping the government shut down until they get concessions on health care. And the Trump administration.
Concessions on health care, y'all. Concessions on health care. That doesn't affect them at all. It doesn't affect the Democrats, bro. Man, every single politician gets a different health care. Every single one. And why is this guy's forehead so fucking big? This is annoying me, y'all. His forehead being that big is annoying me. But anyways, y'all, do you guys understand that the House, the Senate, and the all three branches, all of those, they all get their own, they get government healthcare. Their healthcare is different, y'all. It is different than our healthcare, bro. The Democrats could easily just sign off on a clean CR and let that shit expire. It's not going to affect them at all. Do you guys realize that their healthcare is fine? Do you guys realize this? Do you guys realize that their health care is fine? The Democrats' health care is absolutely fine. Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, all these motherfuckers, Elon, whatever her name is, and Ocasio-Cortez, all of them, their health care is fine. They're not losing health care, y'all. None of them. They got the same health care the Republicans got. They are trying to get health care for niggas like me, for y'all. Their health care is fine. The fuck you mean concessions for health care, bro? Their health care is just fine. They'll be just fine. And everybody in their family will be just fine. They have the same health care that they got. Once a senator is in health, once a senator, always a senator. You and your family has the same health care. All of those, every last politician has universal health care. They don't pay for nothing. If they got something wrong with them, they just go to the hospital and get checked out. They don't pay for a damn thing. They pay for nothing. Nothing, y'all. None of them, no senator, no politician, no congressman or woman, none of them, they pay for absolutely nothing. Their health care is 100% paid for by you and me. They have universal health care. They have what they say we can't have. They all have it. And they'll lie to you and tell you, oh man, what we got to do is right for the American people. Well, how come you don't have the same health care I got? You don't. You have universal health care paid for by me. Talk about some damn concessions for health care.
Administration, which in the past has used other funds to cover SNAP benefits, is not doing it now. Why?
Okay, we have to step back for a moment. The Democrats have been getting rolled for the past 9 months by the President of the United States. They haven't had an answer for how to get after what the President has been doing, his historic agenda.
Historic agenda? Hold up, dogs. So he moves the goalposts. He moves the goalposts, y'all. So he talks about his historic agenda. Can someone please let me know what historic agenda? What did he do historic? What has he done historic? What? I'll help y'all out. He's made $1 billion off of his crypto company while he's still in office. Y'all, he is still in office making policies about crypto companies while he has a crypto company. While he's got the Saudis to invest like $3 billion into his crypto company while he's in office. What about this historic shit right here? His $100,000 Trump watches. What about these? Each one of his watches cost $100,000. He is selling watches from the fucking White House. He is in the White House selling watches. They're $100,000 a piece in a government fucking shutdown. In a government shutdown at this time, even the military wasn't getting paid at this time. And you're selling $100,000 watches in the White House. Is this the historic policies that he's doing, y'all? Is this the historic policy? Well, what about the $400 million gift from Qatar? That is going to cost the American taxpayer over $300 million to retrofit it so that it can be Air Force One. So that's damn near $1 billion for a plane that he gets to keep when he leaves. It's his plane. They gave him that. They gave him a plane, y'all. Or what about the $92 billion parade? Is that historic? Is that one of those historic policies? The $92 million he paid for a parade with like 200-300 people showed up for, and that's it? Is that what we're talking about when we're talking about historic policies? Is that what we're saying? What about this? What about this $300 million ballroom? Oh, BF, no, it's not 300 million. It's only 250. No, it's 300 million. Do you guys realize he's not supposed to be able to do this? Do you guys realize that the White House is America's property? And in order for him to do that, he needs to get congressional approval. Do you guys realize this? That is a fact. He must get congressional approval to do this. You can make minor adjustments. Every president makes minor adjustments. Every single one. This is not a minor adjustment. You legitimately, in order to do this, you need congressional approval and funding. Congress is supposed to fund this. Congress. You don't have the power of the purse. It's in the Constitution that the power of the purse belongs to Congress for a reason, because there is no kings. He just did it. This is taxpayer money, y'all. This is taxpayer money. Minor adjustments are making updates to the Rose Garden. People do it all the time, covering the Rose Garden, making the Rose Garden back. Trump covered it, made it a patio. People do it all the time. Donald Trump, Obama had a basketball court. Do you know what they said? They said Obama just had a basketball court that was worth $350 million. You guys can't be serious. You can't be serious. It cost $20,000 for Obama to retrofit the already tennis court that was there. It cost him $20,000 and he paid for it out of his own pocket. Out of his own pocket, he paid 20 racks, and it wouldn't even cost that. The damn basketball hoop that was on there, I saw the same damn one at Walmart for $149.99. The same damn one. But you know, because of the security and because of the extra things that go along with it, being on the White House grounds, it costs money. For $350 million, bro, he could have had the fucking Washington Wizards arena built in the backyard of the fucking White House for $350 million. Bro, you dudes are fucking bugging, bro. Y'all just making shit up. Oh, man, you remember his basketball court? It was the tennis court that was already there. All they did was pull up the things from the tennis court, the tennis rack, the fence. They pulled it up. They indented in the damn holes from where they pulled it up. They painted over it and put up a damn hoop. They put up a damn hoop, bro. A rolling hoop. It was a rolling hoop. It was a hoop on rollers. I saw it in Walmart for $149.99 in Walmart. The exact same one. It's on rollers. You put water in them motherfucker, bro. But of course, they didn't put water. They put cement in it. They put cement in the thing. You screw the top, open the little top. You fill it up with water and you close it. They put cement in it so it makes it more solid. They put cement in it. And that's why, they had to have Secret Service and motherfuckers around. So it cost 20 racks and he paid for it out of his own pocket because Senate wouldn't fucking approve it. You fucking idiots. Congress would not approve for him to retrofit the tennis court to make it a basketball court. They would not approve it, so he paid for it out of his own pocket. Donald Trump just took $300 million and broke down the east side of the whole fucking White House. You guys are the dumbest niggas on earth. The fucking dumbest on earth, bro. The fucking dumbest. And all of this because y'all are fucking racist. Let's talk about this last thing that's so historic. Let's talk about this last thing. His tariffs. Do you guys realize that Donald Trump's tariffs were at this particular moment are bringing in $350 billion? Do you guys realize this? His tariffs are bringing in $350 billion. Tell me again why we can't pay for SNAP. Where is that money going? Is anybody asking where the tariff money is at? Nobody is even asking where the tariff money is. $350 billion in tariff money has been brought in to this date. $350 billion. Where is that money at? Where? Why are we worried about motherfucking SNAP funds if this man brought in $350 billion of tariffs, which is our money anyway? Where's it at, bro? Where is that money? Where is that $350 billion? Where's that at? Where, y'all? If you bring in $350 billion, where is it at? Where did it go? Where? Who is auditing this tariffs to know where the coffers are at, where the money is going? Where is the money at? How you talk about we don't have no money for SNAP? You brought in $350 billion from us. You're robbing us for over 350 more billion. We're already paying taxes. Freedom's March, what's up with you? So are these those historic things that this guy is talking about, bro?
Now they have their rally around the flag moment. We're going to stick it to Trump. Who they're really sticking it to is the American people.
Sticking it to the American people because they want to extend the Affordable Care Act that people fucking love. It's health care. They want to extend it. It's sticking to the American people.
They're holding this government hostage for what?
Holding the government hostage because they want you guys, they want the Republicans who are in control of the House, the Senate, the fucking executive branch, the judicial branch. They have all these fucking Republican Supreme Court members. They control everything. But mysteriously, the Democrats are the ones that are holding the government hostage. Can't be fucking serious here. You can't be serious, bro. You can't be fucking serious. You cannot be serious. You absolutely cannot be serious. I know why, but that's a Republican thing too. But let's keep going.
Let's just
If
address,
you open
let me
up
address
the
question
government,
that
we
I
can get to these
asked you.
negotiations.
No.
SNAP.
Let me.
There is no negotiations to get to about SNAP. Nobody negotiated with Donald Trump when he shut the government down the first time when it came to SNAP. There is legitimately a fucking contingency fund to cover SNAP that you could use because you used it before. And it is there, and it now has more money in it now than it did when you used it the first time. There is more money. We don't need a conversation. No one needs to talk to this man about nothing. No one had a conversation with this man when he gave $40 billion. Hold up a second, bro. Nobody had a conversation with this man when he gave $40 billion to Argentina. Nobody. He just did it. Congress did not approve this. He just did it. He just did it. That is one of the three criteria that the Democrats are saying, hell no, bro. We control the power of the purse. You can't just give motherfuckers billions of dollars. We control that. It's in the Constitution that we control this. We have to agree to this. We've got to agree. You can't just go and take it upon yourself to give motherfuckers billions and bail motherfuckers out. Who the fuck are you? You ain't a king. You are not a king, bro. But yet you just gave $40 billion to Argentina. It's going to cost $8 billion total to fund SNAP. So how about you go to the same piggy bank where you got this $40 billion from and take out $8 billion more and fund SNAP? How about that? How about that? If SNAP is such a problem, oh man, the Democrats is doing this. Okay, well, isn't it a win for Donald Trump and the Republicans to say we don't need the Democrats to take care of America? It's America first. Isn't it a win? It's a win for you guys, right? For you guys to come out and say it's America first and we're taking care of America. We are taking care of America. And for us to take care of America, what we're going to do is we're going to fund this $8 billion that is required for SNAP. We're going to fully fund it. Do you guys realize if this man said, with all this money that we're making in tariffs, we're going to use the tariff money to fund SNAP? You guys realize that? He could just use the money, the $350 billion that he's collected since he started tariffs, that no one knows where that money is at or where it's going to. No one has no idea. He could just use that money. Because I'm guessing that is the piggy bank he used to pay this $40 billion to Argentina. I'm guessing that's what he used. I'm guessing. Don't quote me. I'm just guessing because I'm curious where the fuck he got the money from. Anyways, let's keep going.
Ask you the question that I asked you, which is that we know that the Trump administration of the past has been willing to use other funds to cover SNAP benefits. We know that the Trump administration of present has been willing to use other funds to cover other emergency needs for people that need to be paid. Why will they not do this on the issue of food on the table for children under 5, children 5 to 17,
very clear of who's going to be impacted.
Adults over 60 years old, people with disabilities? I mean, is the answer as simple as they're not going to give Democrats anything, and maybe they think that this is going to hurt Democrats?
Yes. They think this will hurt Democrats, and Democrats are too fucking stupid to craft this correctly so that the Americans can understand what the fuck is going on. They're too fucking dumb. Like all these motherfuckers try to speak like Black Truth. And again, hyperbole, the political listographical of the hypercablu produce is, man, don't nobody know what the fuck you niggas is talking about, man. Speak fucking English. Speak like you know who your constituents are. Listen, man. All I want is to extend the fucking healthcare y'all motherfuckers like. That's what we want. You motherfuckers want this or not, because I'll go away from it. I'll go away from it. We can move away from this shit. If you guys don't want motherfucking healthcare, if y'all don't want it, we'll move away from it. But remember, I'm telling you guys, we're going to move away if y'all don't want it. We'll open the government back up, no fucking problem. You let me know what the fuck y'all want. Because it looks like to me, over the past fucking decade, you guys love the Affordable Care Act. You call it Obamacare because it's a nigga. That's why you call it Obamacare, because you niggas are fucking racist. You're racist. And to put a nigga's name on it is fucking you over. Because you're racist. Yeah, but Democrats won't keep it a stack. Just keep it a fucking stack, bro. Keep it a stack. Listen, bro. You guys wanted your racism. That's why you voted for this man. He's now in office. He's giving everybody around the world money. He ain't giving y'all shit talking about America first. There needs to be a politician that says that keeps it a stack. You guys put this racist in office. You guys did that. You wanted your racist over your health, your racism over your health care. You wanted your racism over your SNAP benefits. You wanted your racism over your fucking paychecks. That's what you wanted. Now you got it. Now, if you want me to fight for your health care, if you want to fight for your paychecks, if you want me to fight for your fucking for your family, I'll do it. If you don't, I'll step the fuck back then. But don't be getting mad at me if I'm saying, listen, bro, we are not giving in. We want Americans to have health care. The same as where was the politicians making a bill that says us politicians will have the same health care as we vote for Americans. There is no bill because none of them will sign off on that, y'all. None of them will sign off on a bill that takes away from them. None. None of them will sign up on a bill that takes away from their fucking receiving billions of dollars from Israel, from AIPAC. None of them will sign up on a bill that forces AIPAC to fucking sign on as a fucking foreign lobbyist. None of them will do that. None, because they get billions of dollars. Don't worry, it's a whole other live stream.
More.
If
That's
you
exactly
open up
right.
the government, guess
That's
what
exactly
happens?
right.
But-
People get SNAP benefits
but I
again.
know-
You're pointing the
again,
finger at the president
I'm
of the
not pointing
United
the finger
States
at
when
the
it's the
president. I'm just
Democratic Party
asking
that is
whether-
holding the government
Listen.
hostage.
You're pointing the finger at the president of the United States when it's the Democratic Party that is holding the government hostage. Let me listen to this. I want you guys to listen to this again. Listen to this fucking dork again.
States when it's the Democratic Party that is holding the government hostage.
And maybe they think that this is going to hurt Democrats more.
If
That's
you
exactly
open up
right.
the government, guess
That's
what
exactly
happens?
right.
But-
People get SNAP
but
benefits
I
again.
know-
You're pointing the
again,
finger at the president
I'm
of the
not pointing
United
the
States
finger at
when
the
it's the
president. I'm just
Democratic Party
asking
that is
whether-
holding the government
Listen,
hostage. Who came out today and
Tara's a
said this
journalist,
shutdown
so
has
she's
to
able
end?
to sort of put the politics
The
on the
Federal
table.
Workers
You're
Union
not
said this has to
acknowledging-
end.
You're not.
Okay, now let me let you guys listen to something what Donald Trump said in 2013 as well.
I'm tweeting about the shutdown using less than 140 characters to write. The Obama administration has a very important duty to provide a budget and then negotiate. Our country is a laughingstock. And get this, a Trump fan suggesting President Obama read The Art of the Deal to learn to negotiate. Donald Trump joins us. Nice to see you, Donald.
Hello, Greta. Congratulations on your new wonderful time slot.
Oh, well, we're thrilled to be here and thrilled also to have you, Donald. So let me get right to the first question. Donald, we're having a hell of a time trying to negotiate here in Washington. So tell me, if you were president, what would you do?
Well, very simply, you have to get everybody in a room. You have to be a leader. The president has to lead. He's got to get Mr. Boehner and everybody else in a room, and they have to make a deal. And you have to be nice and be angry and be wild and cajole and do all sorts of things, but you have to get a deal.
That's what he said, y'all. Well, what did he just say? What did he just say?
Little caveat, I will only meet if they let the country open. They have to let the country open. The people want to go back to work. They want to be served. They need the services of some people. And a lot of people need the money, the payroll. So I'll do it as soon as they open up the country. I'd like to meet.
So you won't meet with them until the government. Just to be clear, you won't meet with them until the government's open.
The government has to be open, yeah.
So in order to do it, the government has to be open. Well, that's not what you said here.
A Trump fan suggesting President Obama read The Art of the Deal to learn to negotiate. Donald Trump joins us. Nice to see you, Donald.
Hello, Greta. Congratulations on your new wonderful time slot.
Oh, well, we're thrilled to be here and thrilled also to have you, Donald. So let me get right to the first question. Donald, we're having a hell of a time trying to negotiate here in Washington. So tell me, if you were president, what would you do?
Well, very simply, you have to get everybody in a room. You have to be a leader. The president has to lead. He's got to get Mr. Boehner and everybody else in a room, and they have to make a deal. And you have to be nice and be angry and be wild and cajole and do all sorts of things, but you have to get a deal.
Ah, the beautiful Queen Rach. Why are you here, beautiful Queen Rach? You know you have so much shit that you got to do. If you don't get your butt moving with all this stuff that you got going on, and you got a whole boatload of stuff to do. Rachel got a whole swamp load of stuff. So you said you're driving. Oh, okay. Okay, I was about to say because, yeah, you've got way too much stuff to do. But anyway, so let me get back to this. I got a few more minutes of this before I wrap this up.
Willing to acknowledge that politics is at play here.
What I'm saying is that the Democrats are playing politics with this shutdown.
Yeah,
Have Republicans done it in the
both
past?
sides are playing politics. It's very clear.
Granted, hold on one second.
We
Granted,
need 4
hold on one
Democrats
second,
in the
Harrison.
Senate. 4.
Granted, the Democrats are playing politics with the shutdown.
With American people's lives.
They are playing the very same shutdown game that Trump and Republicans played in his first administration.
Are we dealing with the shutdown of 2018?
But now you're playing the what about it.
These are political games. Hold on a second.
If we're talking about today, go in the room like Donald Trump said in 2013 and negotiate. He is refusing to do any of that until after they open up the government. The problem is, you guys are in control. Let me help you guys again. Because I want you guys to understand something. The reason why, Queen Tay-Tay, what's up, Queen Tay-Tay? Thank you, Freedom's March. Thank you, brother. The reason why they're having these issues is because when the Democrats tried to get rid of the fucking filibuster, the Republicans said no. I'll go into the filibuster at a later date. What the filibuster basically is, just a high level, means you needed 60% to get things done for certain things. You need 60%. That's what the filibuster is. The reality is before the filibuster, all you needed was a majority. So if you had a majority in the House and a majority in the Senate, you could get everything done. Everything done. Everything. Every Republican. If you're in charge, then you can get whatever you want done. If you're a Democrat and you're in charge, you can get everything done. The problem is, when the Democrats were not in charge, the Democrats wanted to get rid of the filibuster. When the Republicans were in charge, they did not want to get rid of the filibuster because they liked themselves being in charge. Right? When the Republicans went not in charge, no, flip that. When the Republicans were in charge, they wanted to get rid of the filibuster. When the Democrats were in charge, they did not. And when they did want to get rid of the filibuster, when the Democrats got in charge and they wanted to get rid of the filibuster, the Republicans went against it. When they were not in charge and the Democrats were in charge, the Democrats tried to get rid of the filibuster and the Republicans said no. So when the Democrats were not in charge, they wanted to get rid of the filibuster. When they were not in charge and they shot against it, talking about it was unconstitutional. And then when the Democrats were in charge, they tried to get rid of it. And the Republicans who was against it again. Well, the crazy part is, if you get rid of the filibuster, if you get rid of it, the only things that require more than 51% are changes to the Constitution. That is it. That is it. Legitimately, the only things that require more, if you remove the filibuster, if you remove it, the only thing that requires more than 50% more are changes to the Constitution. That is it. Nothing else will require. You can fucking blaze through your whole agenda. Whatever your agenda is, you can blaze through the whole damn thing. Changes to the Constitution require different things. I want to say 38 states or something like that. Require 38 states to agree to whatever the changes are to the Constitution. Right? But other things, man, you could just blaze straight through. You could get through everything you want to do. You're in the majority. You're in the majority, bro. 51%, you good. And truth be told, you don't even need 51%. Because guess what? If there are members of a committee that are not present, or members of the House or Senate who are not present for a vote, then you vote not present. So if more ayes than nays, then the bill still gets passed. It still gets passed, bro. It still gets passed. Still. If there's more, if you decide to not show up, and then everybody else on that side or that side shows up, or if you decide to just not do a date, it still gets passed. Whatever.
Well, you know
No,
what?
no,
The
you
people
just-
on
you just
SNAP
hold on a
benefits
second.
don't care about
I'm asking
that.
you.
They don't care about it.
Will you acknowledge that the withholding of SNAP benefits in this moment is something that Trump doesn't have to do?
The administration can look at many ways to solve this problem. Look at what they're doing for our troops. Look at what they're doing for aviation safety. Is there a way to do it? I bet you Secretary Rollins is looking at it.
So
but the
there is.
one
Okay,
thing,
so
can you
appreciate
acknowledge,
that.
can you acknowledge that if the Democrats open up the government, we don't have to have a conversation about
Can I just make a point
Hold
here?
on 1 second, everybody. Just a second. Let me just say, I appreciate that you acknowledge that there are options on the table. They're not being utilized.
If you could acknowledge that the
second-
Democrats
but the
can open up the
secondary-
government and this problem won't be a problem.
literally
You
just
don't
said
think that one
The
concession
secondary-
to Democrats is okay? Like just
It's not-
one
it's not
concession,
just
which is
one
the
concession.
subsidies for the
No.
Affordable Care
Not
Act,
to
so
show-
premiums
to hold
don't
up this
double.
entire
That's
government?
the one thing they're asking for.
When we got
One
people on
thing.
furlough?
One
No.
thing.
Hold on.
That is what he's asking for. Extend the fucking subsidiaries, bro. The fuck you mean no? What do you mean no? You and your fucked up haircut and big ass forehead. What do you mean no? What? Extend the Affordable Care Act. That is the main piece that they're asking for. Extend it. It doesn't do them any favors. It doesn't do Democrats any favors whatsoever. Doesn't do them any favors. None. Those motherfucking Democratic politicians are on the same health care as Republican politicians. Doesn't do them any favor. Bro, they don't even use those benefits at all. Man, they use congressional health care. It don't got shit to do with Affordable Care Act. They got universal health care. Universal. Doesn't matter what their ailment is, they go get checked out, period. They don't got to worry about nothing. They got universal health care. The fuck you mean? To hold up the whole government to give people the same health care that they had? Well, when that drops, if you ain't rich, if you ain't balling, if you ain't got it, then people in your family are just going to be fucking sick as a bitch for a long time, bro. Or they're just, whenever something miraculously happens that they can afford to go to the hospital. Well, I don't understand what the fuck is the problem here. We have been paying the Affordable Care Act since 2016. You guys have absolutely nothing to replace it. You've never even tried to replace it. Now, let me correct myself. The Republicans have never had a healthcare system. It's always been a states thing. Even since Reagan. Matter of fact, let me show you. This is Reagan's healthcare program. This is the standard for Republicans is Ronald Reagan's healthcare. This is his healthcare program. He wanted states and local governments to control healthcare. That is what Ronald Reagan wanted, states and local governments. Now, I'm fine at this. I really am fine. I'm totally fine if you want it to be states and local governments. I'm totally fine. Well, then that means I should have less taxes taking out of any paycheck I ever get. I should be paying for less taxes then. Because if the state is taking care of my health care, then what am I paying the government for? What am I paying the federal government for if the state is taking care of my health care? Well, what am I paying the federal government for? How about you guys tell me how much it costs to fund the feds? How about that? Just tell me how much it costs. Tell me what I'm paying for. You guys just take money out of people's paychecks. You don't even tell them what they're paying for. You don't tell them anything. You just take money. What are they paying for? Does anybody know what y'all paying for? You have no idea. This was Ronald Reagan's health plan. Okay. The only time that the Republicans did anything other than this, the only time, was this. In 2017, the American Health Care Act. And all the American Health Care Act was basically kicking the can down to the states in 2017. This is not a plan. This was not a plan at all. If anybody read the American Health Care Act, all it did was kick this down to the states. That's it. Just kick it to the states. It had nothing to do with stopping any money. Yeah, all the money that was going to the federal government was still going to the federal government. It was still going. Nothing changed. It didn't lower your taxes in no way, shape, or fashion. All the money that was still going to the Fed was still going to the feds. All they did is kick the can down the road for the states to take care of the people in the states. So what that does is the state pays the federal government based on their population. The federal government then pays the states however the fuck they feel like doing it. Right? Depending on who's in office, I'm going to pay the states however I feel like it. Okay, well, here you go. Now, if I give you a small budget, even though you gave me a big ass amount of bread, if I give you a small amount of bread back, you have to use that amount of bread to then pay for healthcare, SNAP, and everything else in your state. The money that I'm giving you money, you're giving me back less. So I have to use that money to take care of the state, my state. I have to budget my state based on the money you decide to give me. That's facts. Insane. So if I don't, as the governor, if I don't decide to make a healthcare plan that is universal for everybody in my state, then I just don't do it. If it's going to make me more money to just blow them off and just say, well, why would I do that? Nah, man, I'm promoting competition. But you're not promoting competition, because that is not what this is about. Because if it was about promoting competition, I'm all for it, because competition drives down prices. But you're not promoting competition, because those people, those health people that come in, big health or big pharma, whatever that comes in, lobby for you and pay you money. So then you destroy the competition, because the people that's giving you the most money are the ones you put in charge. The other ones, you don't step out of that and let them beef amongst each other. No, you take the lobbying money from the one that's got the most money, and then you implement their health policy, which is not good for people, bro. It's not good for nobody. It's good for them. It is not good for people in your state. No, you want that. You want the person that gave you the most money. That is who you are then going to allow to run the healthcare in your state. You're not doing an actual fucking open market. And then it varies from state to state. So if you're in Texas and then you go to Arizona or Oklahoma, it's different healthcare. It might not even be and then what it is now, you can't, they have in certain things like abortion. If you cross state lines to go get an abortion in a state that is abortion friendly, it's illegal. It's literally illegal, bro. You could go to jail for that. So some things that are legal health-wise in some states are not legal health-wise in other states, which is the reason why universal health care is fucking needed. That's why it's needed. It should not be legal in this state to do something and illegal in that state to do something. It should be legal or illegal or in the country. Whatever. Let's keep going.
Can I just no, because we love that premiums are going to double. We love it. We love it. Let all these Americans suffer.
I think we're really sad.
Can I just say how I predict this will end? This will end. I'm not sure who will wave the white flag first. I doubt it will be Trump, but he will end up giving the concession of the subsidies. He's already said it. He knows that it's
Why not do it now?
Why not do it now? Greatest question asked. Why not do it now? Why not extend the affordable health care subsidiaries? The copay. Why not extend it? Why not? You guys have absolutely no answer to this question. You have no answer. Why not extend it? Why not? I'm not saying the Democrats are right all the time and the Republicans are wrong all the time or vice versa. They're both cheeks to me, both of them. But I'm asking simple questions. Why not extend them? Why not? You have nothing to replace it with, bro. You have been saying, believe me, I have a healthcare plan. It's going to be rolled out in 2 weeks. Nigga, that was in 2017. In 2017, you were talking about your healthcare plan is going to be rolled out in 2 weeks. You still don't got one. No Republican has one. None. If you guys used the American Health Care Act in 2017, this was your bill to repeal and replace. Where the fuck is it at right now? Where is the repeal and replace bill right now? Where's it at? You have full control of the House. You have full control of the Senate. The president is Republican. You have motherfucking full control of the motherfucking Supreme Court. Where is this bill now? Where is it? It must have been shit, which is why y'all not using it right now. It must have been some shit. It must have been, because you guys damn sure ain't using the bill that y'all all had, that all the Republicans passed in Congress. How come you guys can't bring this motherfucker out, shake it off, blow the dust off this motherfucker, change a few names, and present it? Don't get quiet on me now. Don't get quiet. How come you can't pull out this bill from 2017, dust it off, shake it off, blow some dust off on all this motherfucker, do a few tweaks, a few updates, and present this? You guys have presented absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. You guys have presented nothing. All Republicans present is problems to argue about. That's it, bro. They just present problems to argue. And all Democrats do is bitch about said problems. You have one side bitching about the problem and the other side presenting a problem, and nobody is doing anything to fix it. That's what we have. But anyways, y'all, I'm glad you guys hung out with me for this amount of time to break this down. I'm going to try to do these more. I'm going to try to do these more, y'all. Probably around the same time frame, maybe like 11, maybe 11-ish, 11:30-ish. I'm going to try to do them around that time frame. Yeah, so I can get these out and then get back to my boxing shit. So I'm about to wrap this up, y'all, and I'm about to do my boxing. So I'm going to see y'all over on my boxing page, man. Thank you guys for pulling up on me, man. Please share this. Share this, man. Get this out there, because I believe what I present for this is different than what others may present. Not to say it's better, but I say it's different, right? I would say it's different. So I'm gonna do a Queen Mother. I'm gonna do a Queen Mother. Definitely. So make sure you guys share this out. Let people know I got a different approach, and they may like my approach. All right. Salute to everybody, man. I'm gonna see y'all in a little bit. Peace and blessings. See y'all in about 15 minutes. I'm gonna eat something because my mother told me to. I'm gonna see y'all in a little bit.